Welcome to Stormwater Drainage Solutions, and in today's video we're going to be showing you how to fix a collapsed pipe. Now what you are looking at here is an indent in the ground caused by a collapsed pipe. Basically, once the pipe is collapsed, water can no longer escape and is going to seep out into the ground, causing erosion and a potential sinkhole to emerge. Now this drainage line discharges into the retention pond behind the home, and part of the reason why this drainage line failed is because they used the wrong type of pipe. They used a knife cut perforated pipe, also known as a French drain pipe, for 2 gutter downspouts. Now essentially, if you use a perforated pipe on gutter downspouts, that pipe going through the yard is essentially just a giant leach field. All the water that you're collecting on the roof and you are trying to keep in the pipe and maintain it until it gets to the point of discharge is seeping out of all of these perforations, and it's going to create a more of a soggy, muddy yard because you have made a giant leach field. So you want to make sure that whenever you are running gutter downspout drains, you use a solid pipe. All right, so what causes a pipe to collapse? There's a few different reasons that can cause this, but I'm going to go over the main one, which is usually root intrusion. Once roots enter the system of a pipe, they've already created a weak spot in that pipe, and once the debris buildup starts, it's going to back that system up, and that area of pipe that's already weakened due to the root intrusion is going to start to sag. This is going to cause the pipe to slowly collapse over time until it becomes unfunctional completely. Now, there's a couple other reasons why a pipe can collapse. Misaligned joints from poor installation, bad connections, and just aging of old pipes can cause this. But the most common one is root intrusion. In order to fix a collapsed pipe, you're going to have to figure out where the collapse in the line has occurred. Now, usually it will involve running a camera snake down the main line to figure out exactly where the problem area is and then dig down to it to fix it. Now, in this situation, we were very fortunate because the collapse was obvious. It was right on the bank of the retention pond, and we could tell because of the huge divot that was starting to slowly be created in the ground. Now we're going to dig down to this pipe, we're going to cut out the bad collapsed section, and then we're going to be replacing it with a new one. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and run our camera snake in this end of the line, and we're going to do a camera inspection on this system just to see what the inside looks like. All right, so we're doing a camera inspection on a big box store perforated corrugated pipe. The entire main line is perforated. So throughout this pipe, you are going to see small roots growing throughout it. This is from the grass. Now, fortunately, there was no trees in this backyard or big shrubs, so there's no major root intrusion, which is a good thing. But you will see coming up here soon, the water is flowing, which is a good thing, but the entire line is wavy throughout this run. So it goes up and down. So it was a poor installation to begin with. Now, as we make our way through this line, the camera is going to flip up and down because when I edit this footage, I try to keep the camera footage up and down because when you're doing a camera snake inspection, that camera wants to turn around and go upside down, run along the side of the wall. You know, when you're feeding this camera snake through, you have to do the best you can. So you can't always keep the footage, up and down. So now, as you can see here, we're kind of in a belly of the pipe. That's why there's a lot of water buildup here. And there's going to be debris. Anywhere a belly forms in this corrugated pipe, there's going to be debris buildup. And a matter of fact, it doesn't matter what kind of pipe you use. Any pipe that forms a belly is going to catch sediment and debris. That's just the way it works. Sediment is heavier, it's going to sink to the bottom, and it's going to want to rest on the bottom. And you can see all those roots right there, and that is just from the grass growing above this pipe. That's why you do not want to use perforated pipe for a main line. And if you're going to be building a French drain system with perforated pipe, you want to wrap that pipe with a good non-woven geotextile fabric. Wrap the pipe and the stone. So as you can see here, we have a large amount of debris buildup in this belly here. So what we are going to go ahead and do for this client is we're going to flush this system out thoroughly with our garden hose and our adapter for our garden hose that turns it into a jetter. We have found that using this puts a lot of water into the system and it helps flush a lot of this stuff out. Now, the water is flowing, so that's a good thing, but we want to make sure that we can get as much of this debris out as possible. We're going to start by feeding our garden hose down this 6x6 speedy catch basin that they put in as an access point. We're going to run it all the way down to the end, and then we are going to go ahead and jet it from the discharge end as well, because we want to break up as much debris and sediment as possible so it can be flushed out of the line. Now, whenever you're feeding a jetter down a main line, it's going to have water shooting back behind it, and it's going to have one stream of water shooting forward. The stream of water that shoots forward is used to break up debris, and the streams of water that shoot backward are used to help propel the jet forward and push debris back behind it. Then, when you slowly pull the jetter out, the jets that are shooting back towards you are going to help pull all that debris out and clear the line. To make this repair, we opted to use ADS's triple wall HDPE drainage pipe. It has a smooth interior and exterior, and sandwiched between those two is a corrugated skeleton. Basically, the corrugations give it added additional strength. Now, unlike traditional PVC pipe, you cannot solvent weld HDPE plastic together with a chemical. You have to use a more traditional type of glue. Now, the one we're using is called Christie's Root Band. This one has been discontinued, but there are other HDPE glues on the market that you can use. Now, we also recommend tile taping the joints after you use the glue. This will just help keep roots out of the system and make a more watertight joint that will last a long time. We used a corrugated adapter fitting. That way we could snap our pipe directly into the corrugated system. Now we're also going to tile tape up this entire joint. That way it makes a solid connection. Now, as the men dump the dirt back into the hole, I'm going to lift the pipe up ever so slightly to make sure that we get dirt further down in there so that this pipe doesn't belly out on us. Then we're going to embed this pipe to ensure that everything is solid and it's not going to move over time. Now we're going to be using multiple bags of fill dirt to go ahead and bring this low spot back up to grade. As we dump the fill dirt in bag after bag, we're going to be using the tamper to tamp this dirt down and really get it nice and compacted. Because this is on a good incline on the edge of a retention pond, we want to make sure that this is as compacted as it can be. Now we're also going to be using a mesh. It's a plastic mesh. We're going to put that plastic mesh down over this area. We're going to pin it in with fabric stakes, and then we're going to lay our sod over this. That mesh is going to help those sod roots take hold better, and it is going to help stabilize this area. Like I said, this is on an incline right next to a retention pond, so we want to make sure that this area doesn't erode out on the first couple of rains that we have. We hope you enjoyed this video and you gained some knowledge from watching it. And if you did, give us a thumbs up. It really supports us. It supports the channel. And if you live in Tampa or the surrounding areas and you need drainage work, give us a call. We can come out there, assess the situation, and help design a system that fits your needs. And until next time, this is SWDS signing off.